Ladies, gentlemen, or what have you, I'm Orion Lavelle.
And I'm Travis Mattingly.
And together we host Tooth and Nail, a monstrous podcast.
Captivated by monster design, we discuss the narrative, artistic, and mechanical design of the monsters lurking in your favorite games and stories.
This is a show for the monster fanatic, the game design aficionado, and the DM looking for the perfect goblin encounter. Find Tooth and Nail at nerdsmith.org. Keep fighting.
Good day! Simply smashing! Welcome to the screen!
There's definitely some issues happening with my computer right now.
Well, we're here anyway.
Everything is like 10 minutes behind.
Simply smashing!
It is simply smashing.
Awesome. Well,
Welcome to the screen!
oh, there's that.
Well, there's that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Qyjari's Curious Crafts and 3 Sheets One Shot.
Hello. And today, we are broadcasting from a hobby store that used to be a movie theater and still kind of smells like old popcorn. It's 3 Sheets One Shot.
I love that one.
Oh, there's that.
Oh no! Is it me? There's definitely some issues happening. Hey, you know, we've been muted this whole time.
Oh,
Hey, Joe.
I'm
it
glad you
going?
turned up, mate. Now we can begin.
there we are. I twisted.
There you go. Hey, Twisted. What's up? Am I missing chat now?
How are you now, Twisted?
Can you hear us, Twisted? Are we good? Because I'm completely lost.
Twisted can't hear us.
That's because I had us muted, but now we're back.
Now, if Twisted can hear us because Twisted can hear us on the internet, or because Twisted can just hear us in the world because his hearing is that good, we will never know. We will never know if Twisted.
Hey, Joe, you're short for a second.
Oh, hello.
I have to get Streamlabs back up again.
Oh, okay.
Now you're gonna be big again.
Oh, it's like I've done forgot what that was. Oh,
That's all right.
Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. There it goes. There, now my brain's working.
Yeah, Streamlabs pooped out on me, and I wasn't seeing chat, so now I'm gonna see it. Look at all these people talking, and I'm missing it all because I can't read. I'm too blind.
It's twisted. It's twisted. It's twisted me a little bit and twisted.
All right, let's see. Can you hear us now, Twisted? Oh, I'll type that. How about I type that? Can you hear us now? It could be.
Yes, I think Twisted can hear
It
us.
might be a Zoom issue. If
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Twisted can hear us because because Twisted.
I see it. Okay. Well, did they get your? Did he hear the great line that you had for our intro? Because that's my favorite one.
Oh, is it your favorite one?
It is.
So Twisted, I've been coming up with intros, because Anne's awesome and she needs intros to this great show. Yeah. See.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yay. All
There
right.
you go.
So I think we've got it. I'm not even going to do a recap. Let's just start writing. Tonight's episode is called Elementals because our intrepid adventurers spiraled down. You know what I realized, though?
What's that?
We wrote the story of our adventurers abandoning the horse cart and the load of netherstone powder outside the temple and then spiraling down, but we never wrote the introduction of how, if they finish that arc, and now this new arc needs to begin. So we probably need to have more faith in our players that they're actually going to finish the arc.
They could do the right thing.
Right.
We expect them not to, but they could.
Exactly. So we should probably kind of go back a little bit, and after spiraling down here on this paper, we should write as if our adventurers were level 8 or 9, and they were given the task to do the research on what's happening. So we need to come up with.
Woohoo! You're here!
Yay!
Let's get this party started!
There's Del Mori. She has been actively drawing some new Sir Mimsy pics. I am so
There's
excited about it.
Hi, So.
Hey, Sel!
Sir Mimsy, madame, at your service.
Sel has a greeting. Del has a greeting. Del has a greeting. Chief has a greeting, and Lily has a greeting. I got those today, and if we have another sub or another follower or someone who cheers, there's a new greeting for those too, because Jimmy Sherwood rocks.
Jimmy Sherwood is going to be very busy.
He's going to be very busy. So, yes. Twisted
Yes,
had a
and
greeting.
Twisted.
Yeah. Twisted, are you a sub? I can't remember.
He is. Let's see. He is a 2-month. Twisted is a 2-month subscriber.
Oh.
You've subscribed.
There's
Welcome
Nchoku.
to the Dragonkin family.
There it is!
He's up to 6 months, and Choku is.
And Choku. You're the best. I love you. Okay, so we need to start the story brand new. So, Joe, what do you suggest we do? We should definitely...
Just select all that, just highlight all that, and then just delete it. Just get it all
start again.
out of there, and we'll write about a trip to summer camp that goes horribly wrong.
That one time at band camp.
Yeah.
No, there should
Band
be...
camp on the shores of Crystal Lake.
There
It would
you
be
go.
terrible.
There you go. So we need to have a reason for our adventurers at level 8 or 9 to be sent to the temple ruins. And it's going to be to go and find information in the process that will help them recover certain, we're going to call them legendary items, to help defeat, we don't know yet, and correct the ley lines. Maybe there's a problem with the ley lines.
So we're talking about a proper, like, this is when they would do this the right time
Exactly.
instead of just yeet and just jumping 20 levels early.
Exactly, and Clover is going to be very happy that you yeeted.
It's pretty much the only reason I do that anymore.
It's
Once you
just
tell me
for
she's
her.
a fan of that word, I try and get it in there as much as possible.
Every time. Okay, so we should have him go to the temple because that's where we were going to do anyway. And but we need to give them a starting point. Where on Amenrath should we start them out? Let me go to the map. And if you're a player, don't look, because this gives away the ley lines.
Or if you're Anchoku, do look. Go ahead, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna forget. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so you can see here on the map. I kind of redid the map a little bit, but that's okay. As the god of the world, I can do that, right? That's my prerogative. I have decided that...
A hearty welcome
There's
to
Rylan.
Rylan, the necromancer of dead topics.
Wow,
I love that one.
that was a big one. That was a big, long one. That was...
If you are a subscriber of 6 months or more, you get your own personalized greeting from Sir Mimsy. That includes Enchoku and Rylan so far. So,
could I, for my 6-month anniversary, could I just get the first chapter of Leo Tolstoy's War and
Here's
Peace?
to my not-so-secret admirer, Anchoku, joining the party.
Wow.
so Rylan and Enchoku were the only two that got back to me with what they wanted. And actually, I lied because only Rylan did, and I made that one up for Enchoku. So there you go. That's yours, buddy. All right, so here's the map of Amenrath, and this is the DM version. You can see that we decided that there should be 6 entry points, and I actually made it 10 entry points for the ley lines.
Because I see there's some like in line.
Yeah, exactly. Hilda's Lament, which is that temple ruins that we talked about, and all of them you can see intersect here on this this island that just happened to be in the middle of the Silver Sea.
And a perfect triangle.
I know, right? So we have Hilda's Lament, Granlin, which is important that Granlin is one of the points because that is what we're building. Gizmex Grotto has the 4 elemental parts to the rooms that we were working on Tuesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Sanmar is an arcane city, that's for sure. And Tranquil of Rial, definitely. Not a lot has been written about the Tranquil of Rial, though. It is a monk treetop village. And that might be a terrain one day, too. That'd be a fun terrain.
Boy, that'd be neat.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So the temple is there on the island.
Yes, so the temple is here on this island, and that's where the Proxus is. That's where that central nexus is. We decided not to call it a nexus because, everyone does that. EQ and everybody does that.
Yeah.
So Zaman, which is the home to hill dwarves, it has an entry point, and so does Kasuk. I think it's Kasuk.
I beg your pardon?
I know, I think it's Kasuk. We'll call it Kasuk.
Okay.
It is. That's where my my monk Loki is from. Her real name is Aki Lokipak, which is Inuit for, I believe, don't quote me on this, don't get after me, chat. I believe it means something like born on the ice or born near the ice or something like that.
I'm pretty sure Born on the Ice is a Def Leppard song.
It probably is. So those are the 6 major cities, and I won't say cities because Hilda's Lament is not a city, but it is one of the entry points. But there are 4 others, and they include, as you can see, they just happen to hit the map, Tarathiel, Ravenscroft, Mayston, which is very important, and Ferncrest. So those are the entry points that are kind of secret, of course, because we decided that if you weren't attuned, you couldn't get into the Proxus to get access to the elemental halls, is what they call them. So we need to have a reason to take.
Okay.
And also, if we want to start in Tarathiel, did I say Tarathiel had one? Yes. I wanted to show you what I did for Tarathiel. I think I added the map here during the next chapter. Where is it? Here it is. This is the Tarathiel that I just finished building.
Okay.
And that's Queen Galera's castle in the center, and then it's sort of like an island bridge city with a smaller area on the outside. So that's probably where one of these buildings might be where the entrance to the Proxus is for Tarathiel. So we could have them enter from Hilda's Lament, or we could just have them enter from Tarathiel.
Tarathiel feels better,
I think so
but I would say the Hilda's Lament could also be possible, but like accidentally. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
Because like
Or-
Hilda's Lament isn't really a proper
City.
town.
Right.
Yes, proper city. So plus it would be nice to have branching possibilities and everything like that. That'd
Exactly. What we could do is we could say that that everyone is aware of the 9 openings, and they believe the 10th one, that there has to be a 10th because of the way the ley lines go, directly goes across where they believe Hilda's Lament is, and the adventurer should find it.
Well, then what if the people in Tarathiel send them to Hilda's Lament to find it?
Right. But they'd have to send them over land,
Oh yeah.
and then which is fine, which is not land, but over the sea. And then go through the temple ruins. That maybe they cannot get access from. If they go into the Proxus from Tarathiel, they can't get from there. Like it's closed somehow.
So and Choco would like to know what the purpose of the temple is.
Well, and that's what we were just talking about. So we're going to say that we don't want the visit to the Proxus to be the end. I want that to be the go get more information, and from there, whatever information they find will be a way to send all the adventurers off on their journey for a legendary item.
So he wondered, is it to clean up and make offerings to the dead?
I think the purpose of going to the temple will be to find that portal from the temple to the Proxus. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then once they get down, spiral down. Once they get down there, probably at 8th or 9th level, be able to walk right through the dark dwarves, and then get across that lake that we talked about. Deal with that little amusement park skeleton under the palm tree, and the treasure chest, and the jug of ale that's a mimic that we made up last week.
Yeah.
And keep going across that lake. Deal with the cloakers. Probably bury the the previous adventurers who tried to go down there too early, and then find their way to the opening. And because they've been attuned, or they've been given some sort of permission to enter from that side, go into the Proxus from that side, explore or uncover that hallway, that sort of that lost causeway, then to the island of Proxus, and see, and then find out there from the elders, or whatever we want to call them, that they should now seek out, because there's a problem. The ley lines aren't connecting properly, or there's a disturbance in the forest, or something like that, and they need to go into in there to find these lost effects.
So we are looking for synonyms to predecessor.
Sure. Predecessor. The Lost Causeway should be the name of a road. Yeah, actually, that'd be a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could name that chapter for the Lost Causeway. Let's scroll down and do that. Scroll. I need a new mouse down here. The one I have upstairs, I can just hit the like it rolls. It flies by.
Well, we can't use Forerunners because that was already used. Oh, don't yell at me, chat. Halo? Oh, with the Forerunners in Halo?
Is Causeway all one word or 2 words?
1 word looks good.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna say having completed, and I'll make a little note that the DM to say that this is where they start if they finish the first arc of the story. Amonrath turning point. The adventurers are now called to aid in another very disturbing. What?
Well, so it could be. Well, let's see. So the pathways could have collapsed, and they need. Hi there, Fletcher.
Hey, Fletcher. Hey, bro. What up? I didn't get word for you from Jimmy, and you missed the other ones, but I'll get another one for you. Another. Oh, not another disturbing. We want them to find that the 10th door. Oh, the 10th door. Oh, we'll call it that. The 10th portal or the 10th door.
The 10th. I like the 10th door.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, we're gonna call the Lost Causeway. We're gonna call that something else. We're gonna use that somewhere else. The 10th door. Now we'll spell it out. I don't like that short. The 10th door. Having completed Amulet turning point, the Avengers are now called to aid in to Tarathiel by Queen Galira Faybright. To aid in finding the 10th door to the mystical, mysterious.
Mythical always works.
Mythical's a good fantasy.
Although it's not really mythical.
It's not mythical, though.
Like it actually exists. Ethereal.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which, I've been meaning to ask you. The transportation from point to point. So there's 10 spots.
Yes.
And you go from any of the 10 spots to the Proxys, and then from the Proxys on to any of the other 10 spots.
Right.
So is that travel done on this plane? Is it done through a plane? You know what I mean? Like,
I would say that it's a demi-plane. How about that?
that works.
We're going to say that you have to always go to the Proxys. That you can't travel from portal to portal. You have to always go to that hub, no matter where you are. Even if you're in Ravenscroft and you want to go south to Ferncrest, you have to go to the Proxys first and then go to Ferncrest.
Ooh!
What?
Pick me!
Joe with the raised hand.
It just hit me like a ton of bricks. So
Yes.
you said that the Proxys and navigation to and from the Proxys are all done on a demi-plane.
A demi-plane. I like that. I'm gonna write that.
What if the demi-plane is a particular god's mental influence on an actual plane? Like they've created the space wherein the Proxys exists
I like that.
through sheer force of their will. So like in the cosmology of most D&Ds, the deities that control the various planes have the ability to shape them and build them and put little pocket, it's like back in the day Ravenloft used to be a pocket dimension.
Yes.
Now it's an actual place, but
Yes.
it used to be a pocket dimension. So what if the reason they need you to go and fix the proxy, go to the Grand Temple, is because whatever deity or demigod or actual god is
Yes.
dying, and in their death the Proxys is collapsing,
Oh, I love it.
and that can't happen because of reasons. My thought petered out there at the end, but it was started strong.
No,
I'm
no,
still
it's
happy with
excellent. I love it. And needs help to keep the ley lines open. Apparently, ley lines is 2 words. All right, so chat, we need your help, and Joe too. What demigod or what god would be in charge of something that would allow? I would say someone who's neutral good.
Well, there's just right off the top of my head, without doing much googling, there's Garl Glittergold. He's the neutral good god of travel.
Oh my gosh! Then they nailed the head on the thing.
But let me double check that and make sure I'm absolutely right.
We can pull that up on the handy dandy D&D Beyond if I could get. There it goes. It's going really slow right now. D&D Beyond.
Let's see
How
here.
do you spell their name?
GARL. Glitter gold is just one word version of glitter and gold. So here's a fun fact, and maybe this doesn't dawn on, or it isn't told to everybody, but Garl Glitter Gold is a gnome.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's good. See,
He's lawful good. He's lawful
That's
good though. He's
okay.
not neutral good.
That's all right. I just didn't want it to be evil.
Oh wait, he's not. I thought he was the god of travel and roads.
Oladamara is that says, oh wait, no, it's the Traveler. It's actually the Traveler. Why don't we make it the Traveler?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oops, spell it correctly. Trickery. Do I have to
Oh,
look
so
at
that's from
anything?
Eberron. Okay. Chaotic neutral.
All right. Oh, chaotic. Oh, okay. Well, chaotic neutral's okay, I guess.
Domains are artifice, chaos, charm, creation, liberation, travel, and trickery.
I'm gonna look up glitter gold again because I can't figure out why I can't get to that. Gnome gods. Okay.
And I am going to very quickly define celerity, swiftness of movement.
I'm gonna look up the Traveler with the in the front.
I mean, I'm all for using one
I
word.
know I can't say it like Jester. The Traveler. I cannot say it like her. She is my favorite Mighty Nine. And what's funny is she was also my favorite Vox Machina also. But I have a thing for hunters, so that's okay. For rangers. How come I can't find the Traveler as a deity?
I have it in the Eberron wiki.
Oh, you do? So I don't want D&D Beyond to fail me though.
I would prefer it if it didn't as well, but
All right, let's just go to game rules and go to. Oh, is it? I'll just look up deities. I always spell it wrong.
well, to be fair, Rylan, the all of the Critical Role stuff is pretty much full.
They're
The
sold out.
second the tickets go.
Yeah. All right. Is it a?
Good night, Fletcher.
Oh, good night, Fletcher. Thanks, bro. Have a good one. That's one of our banana brothers.
Oh,
And I have a new sound effect. If you haven't followed me yet, or if you haven't subscribed yet, you could hear, or given bits, there's a brand new sound from Jimmy Sherwood if you want to hear those
well,
sounds.
I can't not try that out.
I mean you. You're my co-host. You do plenty.
Cheers to you, my friend. I'm glad you turned up for the bits. Now we can begin.
Oh,
Everyone's got it now. Why were they? Oh, it's because you hadn't said anything yet.
oh, I thought
got
I had.
both.
Oh,
But thank you very much for the bits. All right. So was it an Eberron? You said.
yes.
All right. So do you know what? Is it a tiefling?
It is a god. No, hold on, I'll find out.
I really wish I could just look up the Traveler as a god, and it's not showing up.
It doesn't say exactly what the Traveler is, but I shall read a little bit to you. The Traveler is unique in that it is not related to any of the other members of the Sovereign Host or the Dark Six. He is also said to be the only deity who walks the face of Eberron, but his many changing forms allow him to evade recognition, so he's probably a shapeshifter.
Oh, okay. All
The
right.
Traveler is the patron of all those who embrace change, including changelings, shifters, doppelgangers, and lycanthropes. The Traveler is known as the
Okay.
giver of gifts but a famous proverb states that beware the gifts of the traveler.
Okay. All right. So we're not gonna find. I'm not gonna find it here real quick. I like what you have. What do you think? Should we make it the traveler as the, or is he too chaotic for this purpose? I like the idea of glitter gold. You said, does he work for this or?
Let me give him another quick look here. Let's see. Let's back up a bit to other deities. No, I don't think he works as good as I thought, because
Okay.
I thought he was the god of roads, but he's not.
Well, Timora is actually one of the goddesses that they've actually erected a statue to her in Stonebridge.
Oh,
So we
that'd be a
could,
nice callback.
yeah. So we could use Timora. That's okay, Rylan. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's right, Delmori. He would be like, thanks, no thanks. He is too chaotic. You're right.
Yeah, Dal, you're right.
So Timora, but that's like gambling. Well, we'll look it up. We'll look up somewhere. It'll be a god. We'll just say a god. Let's get to writing. A demigod. We could actually make one up if we wanted to, also, because it's a demigod. It's not even a real one. It's just the ley line god of whatever. Maybe we could look up a like the Latin word for traveler, or the Norwegian word for something, and call that the god or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so travel domain gods.
Okay.
Selune or Selune.
Spell it.
Selune with a little
Okay.
mark.
This would work. Do you know why? She is the goddess of the moon, isn't she?
The Moon Maiden, yes.
Yes, and she's actually a character in Amonrath. She actually lives at the light of the moon. She not at the light of the moon the inn, the Moon's Rest, the Moon's Rest Inn, in human form. She's on my realm.
Oh, well, that'd
So
be
that
a
might
nice.
tie together nicely. So we could have it be her. She's a part of the traveling thing.
Let's see. Let's have lesser, more closely tied to it. Joaquin, Akkadi, Barando Bararis.
Okay.
HOAR, which is a word I'm not going to pronounce because there's no other word.
That's okay. All right, so we'll keep those. We'll look all those up, and we'll decide. Maybe I'll put a poll on.
Oh!
What?
Oh, Ogma.
Okay.
Ogma is true neutral.
Spell it.
Oghma.
Okay.
Those who worship Ogma include bards, cartographers, inventors, lore masters, sages, scholars, scribes, wizards, and archivists.
Okay.
I'm glad you turned up, mate. Now we can begin.
Hey, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Okay, here we go. The binder. Ooh.
There are roughly gods supporting each class. Yeah, and Choku,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
Yeah, and it depends on your alignment. It depends on sometimes your race too, not just your class. Okay, I like this. I like Ogma. That's. Oops, where are we? Okay, yes. Complete network of temples that adhere to that orthodoxy.
Neat.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
So it wouldn't be hard to modify them a bit for.
We could do that for sure. All right. So let's get back to our story. I like Selune too, but she's kind of got her thing going over in at the Moon's Rest. Ogma. And we don't know if it's a demi or not. I'll put question mark.
Oh, let's see. I can give you that. Well, maybe I cannot. It doesn't say if he's a god or a demigod. Let's see. Neutral, greater power. I don't know why I don't know why I still push my push to talk because it's just always on.
It's just always on. Okay. You keep looking at that. We'll keep writing. All right.
Yes.
Delmori said something earlier. Confluence of ley lines of the proxies. I like that. Verbiage. So I'm going to keep that right there. We'll work that into it. So they're sent by Tarathiel, or Queen Galera of Tarathiel, to aid in finding the 10th door. Their scholars believe, when they draw out maps of Amonrath, those ley lines that cross, there has to be one between Tarathiel, because they formerly believed that it ended in Tarathiel. But now they see the world is expanding, and they see now that it actually goes further. And the way the line is drawn, it only intersects, they can tell, we can make it intersect with one of two things. The temple ruins, Hilda's Lament, or somewhere in the ocean. Ah!
I think and just drop them into the ocean.
So maybe there's something in the ocean that does it too. Maybe this is step one, and then they go, oh no, there's an 11th door. I don't know, but maybe. All right, so they believe the 10th, I gotta spell that out like that, 10th door is located somewhere below Hilda's Lament, the temple ruins.
Uh-oh.
So what's wrong?
Well, I'm a big fan of dwarves.
Uh-oh. Yeah?
I found the neutral good dwarven god of wanderers and travel.
Oh, perfect! Let's do it!
Marthamor Dwin.
Oh, God bless you. Spell that?
I believe it's spelled...
Yeah!
Marthamordwin. 2 words.
Oh, Dwin is... what's...
Dwin is the last word.
Okay.
Marthamor.
And this is the Dwarven?
Yeah.
And they are neutral, good... What are they?
Neutral good, let's see here. Wanderers, lightning, roads. They are they're technically an exarch, so that's very close to a demigod.
Perfect. I like that one. Agma, sorry, you had your chance. Didn't quite fit the bill. Yes, Delmori, there is a reason they haven't found it. It's because it's never been discovered. But they believe it's there. If they believe that it's way below Hilda's Lament, way down below this temple ruins. The temple ruins was actually Fletcher's gone, right? But Antroku's here, but he'll role play it correctly. The temple ruins was actually built for a serpent god. Yeah, and so all the holes in that temple all the rooms are rounded holes. So it's definitely built for serpentine creatures, but they're long since extinct. And so this temple is very, very old. Predates probably the time right before the collision, and traveling further down these serpentine tunnels, eventually they come across the dark dwarves, the Duragar, and then the Duragar. Then there's an underground sea or ocean or something, maybe a large lake. We haven't decided yet. That had a glass shard bottom. You couldn't walk across it without damage. But somewhere across that sea will be the entrance, but no one's ever discovered it. So that's where we are so far.
Yeah.
I like Martha Moore Duin. I love that. Okay, that's perfect. Or it could be somewhere along that extending line.
Oh man,
What's
there are
that?
so many good gods of travel.
Are there? Who would
Yeah.
have thought it? I'm gonna go back up here. Go ahead.
Well, it's just Some of them are very, very, very obscure.
Yeah. So just for those of you who missed it, this is the world of Amonrath for the Dungeon Master. If you're going to play the game, then you don't want to look at this map because it might give away spoilers. But the ley lines are in pink here, and you can see this is the Proxus. This is that island in the center of, not center, but in the Silver Sea, that if you go there, as we determined in previous week's episodes of 3 Sheets One Shot, if you go there without getting attuned, you just see an island that has ruins around it, sort of like Stonehenge, and there's excuse me, and there's it looks like it's crumbling and fallen in disrepair. It just looks like an old temple ruins. Nothing to see.
Okay, Lily, bye, and thanks for the share, I think.
Bye, Lily. Okay.
Appreciate your honesty.
Yep. But if you go and you're attuned to the Proxus, which means you have been given permission to visit there or go there, then you see the Grand Temple, and you can see we'll have to name whatever we're going to name them.
So how does one get permission? How does one get attunement?
I don't know.
Did we talk about that?
We did not. I think it would be that there are a certain number of guardians or something. I do know that Amonrath was, as I've just told before, so sorry if I'm boring you. It was created when the 4 elementals collided, or 3 collided to develop the fire elemental. So what we could say is that those, then they were the Genasi, and then they became shepherds of that elemental type, and they provided for, they populated the earth with all the good things that those elementals bring. But they also found a mate within the humanoid world, and then they became the shepherds, and then they passed that that title down to their firstborn. And so throughout the years there have been several shepherds, like the fire shepherd, the water shepherd, the air shepherd. Well, there's no fire shepherd, it's just 3.
So is this one-shot design, would it be ideal for 4 players?
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just, well, it is actually good for 3 to 4 players, but it has nothing to do with the elementals. That's how the history of Amonrath came about.
Okay.
And so I think that what we want to do is we want to say that, I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see it. I use the mouse. Hey, check it out. Tarathiel from right here, and you can see Crow's Hollow is here, but it's not on the ley line. And Dire Brook misses it by 25, 30 miles. And then it could keep going, but then it just goes, there's nothing here that they have discovered, and then it goes off into the western depths. So somewhere between Tarathiel and all this area here, there could be an entrance. And Hilda's Lament is the only one that fell, that meant anything to anybody, that fell along that straight line from Grandland. So
I like it.
Yeah, so it could be something in the ocean, but it's probably Hilda's Lament. So that's why, that was a long explanation, don't worry. The idea is it's too dangerous to investigate as level 4, but going down into Hilda's Lament at level 8 or 9 would be fine, except that no one's ever done it because there's been no reason to. It's just an old serpentine gods, people, whatever, extinct. They haven't found anything down there. They figure somewhere down there are the dark dwarves, and they don't want to deal with them.
Plus, it's got like that weird musty smell when you go down into a handmade basement.
It's awful. It's like moldy.
There's like those jars of like preserved grapes that don't look like grapes anymore.
Yeah, and the stuff that's been canned over years, and they didn't bother to label them, and you don't know what it is until you open it, and then you go, oh, I hate rhubarb pie,
Yeah, yep,
Ugh.
yep. Which is weird because when my grandmother canned this, it was supposed to be carrots.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, so this is great. We're getting to the let's change the 10th door to the proper title that we've given it, which is a heading.
That's an awesome phrase, the 10th door. That's
like
great.
it.
That reminds me of like a Johnny Depp movie about going to hell.
Whoa. Well, okay.
You ever see that movie? The 6th gate, 9th gate, something like that. But anyway, the 10th
I haven't.
door. So the 10th door is somewhere below Hilda's Lament.
Yes. They believe. So they're sending down the adventurers who are now high enough to deal with whatever nonsense they find, knowing they'd probably end up dealing with some Duergar, no big deal. They'll get past that. And then it's unknown after that. So they want to find out. They can't get from Tarathiel, they can't get any further from Tarathiel. They can go to the Proxus, but then the Proxus can't get them to what they are guessing is this 10th door. So they're sending people in from the temple ruins to head down there.
So there's going to be like random encounter tables while they go over land to get there, and a boat ride to go across the continent. And
yeah, actually, I didn't think about that. We could have them easily get to Direbrook via probably a runic circle or something, a teleportation circle.
it works.
Yeah, so we can get them. I think at level 8 or 9, they probably have enough clout within the city, especially since I know some of the, at least the pre-story in the first arc is going to have them dealing a lot with Tarathiel and that city, and hopefully earning a good name for themselves. We shall see. So
You know the players. You know the particular players better than I do.
well, I'm actually not thinking of the Banana Brothers when I write this story. I'm actually writing it for a real D&D.
I believe that is Foxshire there.
Foxshire. No, I think that they'll have a great time running the story, and I don't think it'll be run the same way twice. But I am writing it as if it's not being restricted to, the Banana Brothers. I'm writing it like a real D&D campaign, and not one that's being heavily restricted with int levels and things like that. So we'll see what happens.
Anshoku, you're still with us?
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about Anshoku because he is very, very intelligent in real life, but he's gonna play it perfectly.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun.
In fact, I wanted to say that I've reopened my Patreon. If anyone's interested in becoming a patron, I've opened those. I closed up at the dollar level back when I joined Nerdsmith, and even though they didn't have a restriction on it at all, they said you could do it if you wanted to. Well, I did just to give a chance and close it down, but I discovered that people really enjoy being patrons. They like that process, they like that service, so I reopened it up. So if you're interested, there's a link below in the Twitch. I also have some merchandise if you're interested. I don't get a lot from it, but it's cute, and it's by artist Del Mori, who's in the chat, and it's Sir Mimsy playing with his D20 on his back. It's really cute. There's a coffee mug and a craft bag and a t-shirt. It's really cute. So yeah, there she is, Del Mori. Woo! Okay, so they believe the 10th door is located somewhere below. We've got that. Now let's say that they've gotten across that big expanse of water, right? Because we've already kind of walked through that and dealing with the mimic and all that stuff. Let's get them into the Proxus and finding the hall, not get them into it, but find the entrance.
Okay.
What should it look like? What should it be? Should it be just a small little door? Should it be a row of doors that there's a secret behind or a trick behind each one, or a
you know, that could be like a
Cheers.
a puzzle of almost, oh yeah, cheers.
Thank you. I just dripped on my keyboard.
It could be like for example, like in the Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail, how they went into the Grail room, and there's a ton of fake Grails, and there's one real Grail.
Something like that.
If this room was a bunch of doors, and only one of them was the real door, and like some of them are wooden, and some of them are metal, and some of them slide, and some of them hinge.
Yep, I like it. Some of them are round, some of them are tiny, and there's a little drink me potion.
Yeah. Or not even not even. There's not there's a tiny door, and it's up to you to figure out how to get.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could. That's a good idea for this chapter, especially since it's called the 10th door. Maybe there's 10 doors.
Could be, yeah. And Joku would like to know what the themes of the Proxys are. Themes are, yeah.
Themes. Well, the Proxys is the word Proxys I made up, and it's supposed to represent the hub. It's like the center of a wheel, and the spokes go out. And in most video games, I know EverQuest, it was called the Nexus. And
it was called the Nexus in WoW, I believe, as well.
Is it? I didn't know they had a Nexus.
I believe they have something called a Nexus. I'm not positive.
Okay. So it's the central hub of the ley lines, and then each spoke. In this case, there are 10 of them, or 5 spokes. No, 5.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
No, there's.
Well, there's 6 spokes.
There is a number of spokes.
Yes, and all these ley lines connect to the center hub. So the Proxys is the name of this hub. Oh, it's a dungeon. Okay. Okay, so once they get to if you're picturing what we described as the Proxys, it looks like a grand temple. That's what we called it. And it's like a great garden, and there are 4 grand hallways in each heading that represent each element. The fire one, the doors are closed, I would imagine, and locked. Big, heavy, Gothic-looking doors.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones to, say, Earth are open, and it's lined with trees with a beautiful canopy, and the ground is just earth. And then maybe for the water one, it's a tunnel through water, and with all sorts of underwater. So it's sort of the elemental. And same with air. Air is just flying on clouds through the hallway. And then each one probably ends in the great temple part of the of whatever that deity is that we just. I think someone mentioned the 4 deities for the elemental types: air, water, earth, and fire. These right here you see, but I know that I named them after, I want to say, Norwegian words for fire, air, water, and earth, and so I'll probably name them those names. One of them was. Let me see if I can find it. It's in at the end here in the references section. It was Jord, Van, and Luft, and I believe Luft is air. Let's see. Jord.
I believe Van makes really good shoes.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, except I wear Converse though. I do. See, I got them on.
Converse sponsors. Converse.
Again. There we go. I got a cramp now. Oh, I got a cramp. I'm so old.
Just accidentally just tip back.
Yeah. That would be funny. That would be a clip. I know. All right. So the Earth Mountain is Jord, and that's forest, valleys, swamps, fields, caves, all that stuff. And then the water is Van, right here. Rains, oceans, ice flows, lakes, rivers. And then air is Luft. And it's the wind, skies, breath, breezes, clouds, all the animals who dwelt within.
And that's the god that would have the ocarina that you'd play.
Yeah.
To summon the horse. It's Zelda. I'm sorry, that's not Zelda. We're playing Zelda. No, we're not.
Aren't we? I thought we were playing a video game. And then the fire mountain Ild. And that was they were the ones that were not welcome, because she was the most terrible. She consisted of blazes, infernos, molten rock. She was ever devouring.
And then the other 2 had to.
The other 3.
Stop her, or the 3? That's right. The other 3 had to. They didn't really stop her.
Well, they surrounded her, and with enormous collision, they formed Amonrath, and each of them gave life to the new realm. Jord populated the realm with forests and whatever, but Ild was contained underground and only erupted during the weakest point, which was during the Feast of the Moon, when the mountains are mourning and they're at their weakest. And that's when volcanoes and such around, although there is only one major volcano that has been discovered, and that's Ashburn Peak. You can see here on the map right here. There we go.
And Choku is curious.
Yeah.
Yes, when each spoke is recharged, what happens? Does a statue like? Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you hear the thunder and the lightning?
Oh boy.
That's what I get for talking smack about Van.
Yeah. See.
And Choco also wants to know: does a statue light up and an elemental theme happen? And then when they're not refreshed, do they look like tired or dead, or what do they look like?
I would say that that if you have access, that this area is ever living. That this is the Proxus. It's magical and it's ever living. Then the guardians there, whatever you want to call them, I don't want to call them guardians or shepherds because that's a term that we've already used, but some other term that implies a keeper or
like a warden.
A warden, yeah. And we'll make up a name for each of those. And they're welcoming and they're ethereal and they answer questions. And
Steward would tell
that
them
would be
whatever
great. Yep. Let me write that word down.
You just take like a grease pen to the computer screen.
Yeah. Get my white out. Steward of the elemental halls. And then
Rylan, are you very subtly trying to work necromancers in?
He is. He totally is. I loved his greeting. He and I actually worked on that one together. He had a big long one. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get Jimmy to say all that. But if you are a 6-month plus sub here on Twitch, you get a personalized greeting. So keep an eye out for that for future. And if you do become a 6-month sub and you know what you want Sir Mimsy to say to you when you enter for the first time, let me know, because I have already bugged Rainick and Lorena and someone else.
I know what I'm getting when I get my 6 months.
You know what you're gonna have?
Yeah, the first chapter from Mario Puzo's The Godfather.
Okay. You're not gonna get a whole chapter, dude. Thundercats.
Yeah.
I like ever living too. That's a good word. I like that.
And so time kind of doesn't really matter either. Does it?
I would think that when they enter the Proxus, that stop saying Naproxus, because I'm thinking Naproxen, and now I ache all over. Now I need some Naproxen. So thanks for that, and my old age. Hey, look at that! It's almost 8 o'clock, and we made it all the way through, Joe.
Yes. So I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx myself. I didn't want to make the Braves angry at me.
I missed that
but
smiling face.
Your boy made it. Your boy stayed.
I know. This worked. I'm so happy. Shall we do it next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Are you available?
Yeah. Yes, but I get really busy at 8:01, so I'm
we
hard
gotta
out at
hurry.
8.
Yeah, we gotta hurry. So what I was talking to Joe earlier about off screen is I was considering that with my busy summer schedule and the fact that it wasn't working, I was feeling really down about this whole process. But you guys have revived me a little bit. Right now, can we just say I'll go week to week and see how I feel about it? Because I was thinking that I would just kind of stop streaming 3 Sheets 1 Shot. I was getting very frustrated with my laptop not working and pushing the data up and being dropped like the last 2 times. I think it could have been Twitch the last 2 times, but I was really getting a little disheartened. So if my audience wants me to continue this, if this is something that you guys enjoy and enjoy being a part of and helping.
So here's what we'll do. If you guys want Qyjari to keep going week to week to week, visit her on Discord, tweet at her on Twitter, let her know that you want to stick around. Get everyone to tweet to her. Just bombard her with well wishes and desires.
Oh, you're gonna make me laugh.
About this specific. I cannot stress it, about this 3 sheets, 1 shot.
I love the writing process, and I love having everyone contribute, and I like the idea that we've kind of gone from actually writing it to just doing bullet points, and then I go edit it later, because this gives me a ton of stuff to work with, and it's all thanks to you guys. So
I think that this format is a lot better than...
I think so too, because we can vamp, and we can go back and forth, and we can I can just do these little tons of ideas off here, and we could talk about it.
Yes.
Craft TZ.
First of her name.
Thank you guys. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. How about that, Joe? We'll just go week to week and see how it's going.
Week to week to
All
week
right.
to week to week to never. We're just not gonna
And then
ever
we won't
stop.
ever stop. Okay. Well,
No.
I know that you're going to be going to Gen Con,
Yes.
so that's coming up, and I won't have you for that week. Maybe
I'm
maybe I
gonna
can get a
be
guest.
in Gen Con the last weekend of September, the first weekend of February. I'll be from September to February.
That's a long ass con, dude.
Yeah, it's a long con. It's a long con. Yeah, hopefully I get a lot of money out of it.
There you go. There you go.
What are words? What even are words? Why? Good night, everybody. Mwah.
So you're going to Gen Con at the end of July, 1st of September.
Yeah, it's literally like
Okay.
the last day of July, the 31st, and then
So what I'll do is I'll probably take that weekend off anyway. I think school starts for my kids that 1st of August, so
Okay.
that works. Maybe I'll just take
Yeah,
that.
no, I won't even be able to do Riff and Rebel every Friday night, 10 o'clock at Riff and Rebel, twitch.tv/Riff and Rebel.
Oh yeah, Joe, tell us about where you're from.
Oh, I'm from Kentucky, and it's really
On 10 o'clock tonight,
I am
right here on Twitch. You can do it. Come on, we practiced just like we practiced.
right here on Twitch. You can find me and the rest of my friends, Riff and Rabble. 10 o'clock, twitch.tv/Riff and Rabble. We are
You see
working
the
through the
address
Storm
right there
King's.
next to his name.
Yep, it's right beneath me. We're currently going through the Storm King's Thunder campaign, so we're having a great time. I play a dwarf.
Of
You know,
course you do.
of course I do. Rylan there with a shout out. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Rylan. Well, thank you, everybody. Let's get ready to raid some Raynick. Shall we do that?
Yes.
Shall
Is
we
he?
race?
Wait.
He said ish, and we gave him till 8:04, so I can look.
I don't see him. I do see another friend of mine, but if you have any Nerdsmith on, we should raid them.
Well, I told Raynick I was going to raid him, but if he's not there, let me put the window so you don't see me going into that window. I'll just get this Word document out of the way. Open this up over here. All right, so we will be back next for sure.
Same bat time.
Same bat time. Yep. Raynick
Hey, there
on.
he is. There he is. There's a good old Raynick.
Yeah, Raynick's there. All right, so let's have I see that. Look at you with all the bot stuff. Thank you, Rylan.
Wow, Rylan is on fire.
He is on fire. Thank you, Rylan.
I mean, literally, someone please put him out.
Don't put him out. I love him. Okay, so let's think. What shall we do? Should we do the Mimsy Dab? It's still Pride Month, so we could do.
We should do like the
that?
the really bad dab, where the poor little kid just goes like this.
Okay, how do you do that in chat?
I have no idea.
Oh, I like that one.
Ooh, I
That's
like
a good
that.
one.
Yes.
All right, let me go to my thank you screen and we will do that. So thank you all very much for joining me. I had to put the promo up there for Tooth and Nail. If you're into podcasts, wherever you find podcasts, look for Tooth and Nail. And Joe, thank you so much. You have been a rock. You have been such
An island?
awesome friend, helping me.
Have I been a bridge over troubled waters?
You have been the bridge that helps me cross the troubled sea of doubt. How about that?
Wow.
That's what I should get some.
Ooh, look who's turned up like a bad penny.
Dell!
Dal, you got your bad penny greeting right before we leave. You didn't say you were lurking. You didn't say anything. You are a rock star, Joe. And Dell, you are too. Did you hear your new greeting? Was that awesome?
Awesome.
Because Ryland gifted 5 people subs last week, or no, on Tuesday, and 5.
Because Ryland's kind of low key amazing.
I know he is. He's pretty awesome. Okay, so let's raid Raynick. Are we ready? Let me put it to the thank you screen. Joe, thanks again.
Face yourself, everybody. Oh yeah, Del. You're gonna have to tell me about Japan. I'm going there in a few years.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's like waiting on the roller coaster to go down the ride. Oh, I'm tense with excitement.
Tense with excitement. All right, guys. Good night.
Bye. I don't know why I'm waving. I can tell you can't see the cameras, but I'm still waving.
I am
That's
too.
how much I love you guys.